Okay, welcome everyone. Welcome to Yin Restorative for 75 minutes. If you want to grab any props like a block or a bolster, we'll be using it at some point, but for options, we're going to go ahead and start in a wide-legged child's pose. So bring your big toes to touch, knees wide, and really extend your arms out in front of you. And once you have that set up, start to bring your forehead down to the mat. And then once you're there, start to bring your focus inward. Start to focus in on your breath. Bringing your attention to any sensations you may feel in your body right now. Start to feel the natural rhythm of your breath. And with every inhale, your belly expands, feeling the inside of your nostrils. And then with every exhale, feel your belly become empty. Bring your senses and your awareness on your breath, starting to release whatever your day has asked of you. The muscles slowly release any tension that's been holding inside your body. Tension from your day-to-day life or personal life, daily life agenda. Start with every breath, inhaling into that image. And with every exhale, releasing it a little deeper, settling in. Start to quiet down the mind. Bring the mind into a place of ease. Start to notice what may be coming up for you, any emotions, any thoughts. Just observing the mind and body. And as we start to observe the mind and body, we start to connect the breath with the mind. And as we do that, we start to get a little more and more grounded in our own energy, grounded in our own practice. I would like for you to set some sort of intention, either for this class or this week or this month. Something that comes to mind without judgment. Start to breathe into that intention. As you breathe into that intention, start to fill up the lower belly. Feel the lower belly expand with air. Once the lower belly is full, start to expand the rib cage. Then once all of that is full, sip in a little more air and fill the chest with more air. Fill it up with oxygen. Hold it for 2 seconds. And then slowly start to exhale out of the nose. Again, take a deep breath into the lower belly. Once the belly is full, expand the rib cage. Once the rib cage is expanded, zip it a little more air into the chest. Stay full of air, full of oxygen. And then exhale. Let the chest fall down, then the ribs, then the lower belly. One more time. Breathe into the lower belly. Expand the rib cage. Into the heart space. Hold the breath. Exhale out of the nose, let the chest fall first, then the rib cage, and the lower belly. Become completely empty with air. Keep pushing all the air out, and then come to a normal breath. Feeling your circulation and your nervous system start to slow down with this rhythm of breath. Notice if your mind starts to wander or resist. Start to bring it back with the breath. On your next inhale, slowly start to bring your hands towards your body, roll up one vertebrae at a time. Coming up onto your feet, roll the shoulders down the back. Bring the hands to the lap, bow the head, close the eyes. Feeling your intention here. After centering the body, centering the mind. From here, on your next inhale, come up into a tabletop position. All of this will be super gentle, but it's just to get some movement into the spine. So on the inhale, drop the belly, lift the chin, roll the shoulders down the back, let the belly become soft. On your exhale, round the spine, slowly connecting your movement with breath. On your inhale, drop the belly, lift the chin, roll the shoulders down. On your exhale, round the spine. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chin. Just getting some movement into the spine. Exhale, round, slow and steady, mindful movements. One more time. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chin. Exhale, round the spine. And from here, very gently, we're going to come up into a down dog for just a moment. So tuck the toes and lift the hips. Keep the belly connected to the thighs. Being super gentle here, letting the head and neck release, maybe rocking it side to side. Letting the belly and the thighs stay super connected here. So very gentle down dog. Just awakening the back of the body here. Spreading the fingertips wide. On your next inhale, slowly start to step your right foot towards your hands, placing your left knee down. Coming into a low lunge position. You can even stay here as the hips slowly start to open. Or if you would like, you can come up and place your hands on your thigh. But if you want to keep it more relaxed, just keep the hands down to the mat and allow the hips to start to open. Stretching the left hip flexor, closing the eyes. Allowing the connective tissue in your hips slowly start to release. They say the practice of yin, the practice of meditating, is way harder than the actual dynamic movement of yoga because we sit in these postures for a long period of time, which when our connective tissue starts to release, our emotional body starts to release, our mind starts to flicker. So when you notice maybe you want to resist or you start to get fidgety, come back to the breath. Allow the hips to slowly start to open. Using your visualization, maybe visualize your intention. Something to focus on. Using the breath to keep you in this present moment. To control the mind. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And if you have your hands on your knees, slowly start to bring them back down to frame the front foot. Slowly and gently start to shift your weight back out of the hip. Slide that right foot back, untuck the toe, and come back into a child's pose. You can keep your arms in front of you or bring them alongside of you to really open the shoulders. And then bringing the forehead down. Feeling the difference between the legs. Noticing any circulation that you may start to feel. On your next inhale, slowly ride the breath up, pulling yourself up, walking your hands back out to a tabletop. And then from here, taking the left leg and sliding it between the hands, setting yourself up for a high lunge, getting a point of resistance, of stretch, maybe not going all the way, keeping the hands on the mat, or if you would like to eventually bring the hands up onto the thigh and closing the eyes, allowing the right hip flexor to open. This stretch is particularly good for people who are on their feet all day, walking, because we're constantly contracting the front of the hip flexor. So this is great to reverse it and stretch the hip flexor instead of contracting it. Wherever you are, try to close the eyes and just start to acknowledge the sensation. Be here for a couple more breaths. On your next inhale, you can have your hands on your thighs, slowly bring them down to frame the front foot, and gently shift your hips back, sliding that left foot leg to meet your right, coming back in a child's pose for just a moment, bringing your arms beside you, bringing your forehead down. On your next inhale, slowly start to roll yourself up to shift onto either side of your hip, swinging your legs out in front of you. And slowly make your way down onto your back. Pull your knees into your chest for just a moment, wrapping your arms around your legs, rocking side to side, massaging the back of the head. And then from here, bring the left foot down to the mat, crossing the right ankle over left thigh, and then pulling left thigh to chest. Interlacing the hand, threading it through onto your calf or onto your thigh, coming into your reverse pigeon. Now, with this, we're opening the back side of the hip, the glute, outer muscles of the hip. So the lunges allow the front of the hip to stretch, and this allows the back. So a lot of hip opening. If you would like to make it more restorative, you could release the legs and let the arms come overhead, stacking, grabbing opposite hands or elbows or cactus arms. Or if you would like to keep them where they are. Coming back to that deep belly breathing. Allowing your breath to be your guide in this practice. Allow your mind and body connection to start to evolve. And actually allow the breath to ride along the areas that you feel tension. With every inhale, it expands and stretches, creating space in the area. And with every exhale, maybe opens it a little deeper, releasing the connective tissue. Allow the jaw to become completely relaxed. Make sure you're not holding any tension in the face. When we work with tension, it tends to like to show up in different areas. But try to really focus on the release, everything else to be relaxed. Allowing gravity to do its work here. On your next inhale, wherever your arms may be, allow the left foot to slowly come back down to the mat. Uncrossing the legs, opening the arms to a T, and then take an inhale, pull the knees into the chest, and exhale, drop the knees over to the left. Coming into a knee down twist. Eventually looking over your right hand, coming into a full body twist. Any spinal twists allows the internal organs to get rid of any toxins. Almost wrings it out like a sponge. Pushes out anything that's stagnant, even stagnant energy. Maybe now notice if you're still holding any tension in any area. See if you can release it, maybe even a little deeper. Maybe you could even release the shoulders a little more. Start to come back to your breath. Then on your next inhale, slowly start to bring your knees back up to center. Adjusting the lower back, maybe tilting the pelvis up to lengthen the spine, lengthening the back of the head. And then on your next inhale, take your left ankle across over your right thigh. And then pull in your right thigh to your chest. And then eventually interlacing your hands around, crossing them over your right thigh. Coming into your reverse pigeon on the other side. Notice how this side may feel compared to your other side. Maybe the side's a little hypermobile, need a little more resistance. So you push your left elbow into your left leg. Or maybe there's more tension, more stress. Maybe you need to use a little more breath work, mind-body connection. Even though we have our hands kind of actively holding on to our right leg, see if you can relax the shoulders and come into a place of ease. Keeping the back of the neck long, the chin is slightly tucked, just slightly, nothing too drastic. You just want to create length in the spine. Notice your mind starts to wander. Allow your breath to bring you back to this moment. Bringing your breath back to your body. On your next inhale, slowly start to release the grip you have on the legs. Bringing the right foot down and the left. And then on your next inhale, pull both knees up and then drop them over to the right on your exhale. Coming into your knee down twist on the other side. Eventually looking over your left arm. If you would like even more of a deeper chest stretch, you can bring your arms into cactus arms, so bending the elbows. Allowing not only your shoulders to open, but it opens the chest as well. On your next deep inhale, slowly start to bring the knees back up to center. Placing the bottoms of the feet down to the mat. Without moving your upper body, start to heel toe your feet out as wide as the mat. Once the feet are as wide as the mat, start to drop the knees in. You would like, the more you walk your feet out, the more of an intense stretch you can make it. And then once you find a place of comfort for the legs, reach the arms overhead, grabbing opposite hands, forearms or elbows, or cactus arms. Once you find a place, you kind of fidget around and find a comfortable stretch. Come back to the deep belly breaths. Try to resist the urge to just breathe into the chest. Bring the breath down into the lower belly. Expand into the lower belly. Do a couple rounds of 3-part breath together. So on the inhale, expand the lower belly. Once the lower belly is full, expand the rib cage. And then sip in a little more air into the chest. Come full with air. And then exhale slowly out of the nose. Chest deflates first, then rib cage, then lower belly. Let all the air come out, become completely empty. And then take a deep inhale into the lower belly, into the rib cage, into the heart space. Take in a little more air. Hold. And then exhale, the chest come down first, and the rib cage, and the lower belly. Become completely empty with air. And then deep breath into the lower belly, the rib cage, chest, maybe a little more air. And then exhale out of the nose, chest comes down, rib cage, lower belly. And then just come back to your regular breath. Maybe using your visualization to stay with that rhythm of breath. Picture the breath filling up into those areas. Visualizing meditation. Start to deepen your breath. Start to slowly walk your feet back in line with your hips. Start to bring your hands back down and stretch your arms long beside you. Fingertips are pointed towards your heels. And then on your next inhale, slowly start to lift yourself up onto your forearms and then your hands, extending your legs out in front of you, coming into your legs wide, and then bring your right foot towards your center. So left leg extended off to the side, right foot is inward, bends knee. And then we're going to come into our forward fold facing our left leg. So inhale your arms overhead, turning your chest towards your left leg. Exhale, slowly start to fold over your left leg, letting your arms frame your leg. Now you have a couple options here. You can kind of play around with it. You can make it more restorative and let your arms flop open to the side. You can, if you have maybe even your block and bolster, you can place on each side, placing your arms on the props for a little more support. So maybe whatever you find works for you. Once you find it, make your way back into that mindset, back into that place of quietness, that place of ease. Allow the lower back to start to release. It's okay if the spine is round here. Make sure you're not holding any tension in the neck. You can even stack your hands on top of each other and rest your forehead on your hands. See if you can allow the belly to be soft. Try not to hold any tension in the belly. Allow it to become completely soft. Feel the back side of the body release. Letting the earth of your mat support you. Notice if you're holding any tension in the jaw. See if you can release the jaw. maybe a little more. See if you can actually visualize the muscles releasing. Using that visualization, muscles will begin to do so. On your next inhale, slowly start to walk the hands up back to center. Pivot your chest back towards center. Stay here for just a moment with eyes closed, noticing the sensations. Let the jaw be slightly open, eyes closed. Then on your next inhale, slowly start to begin to switch the legs, bringing left leg in, right leg out. Once you're set up there, start to stretch the arms overhead. Inhale, pivot your chest towards your right leg. Exhale, begin to fold down. If you used any props on the other side, feel free to do so on this side. If you stacked your hands on your shin or your thigh, or if you let them flop open beside you. tension. On your next inhale, allow it to start to lift you up, walking your hands back to center, pivoting your chest back to center, bringing your hands into your lap, closing the eyes, noticing how the body feels before you move. Staying centered, staying grounded. And then on your next inhale, slowly bring both legs together to extend them out in front of you. And you can grab your bolster or a block here. And we're going to come in supported fish pose. So if you have a block, you can put it between your shoulder blades long ways. And then you slowly make your way. And if you have a bolster, you put it at the end of your hips, sit bones, slowly lowering all the way down. And then once you're all the way down, allow the arms to flop to your side. You can bring your legs long. You can bring them bottoms of the feet together, knees wide for butterfly. You can keep them up with knees in and feet out. Whatever is calling for your body today. Explore some movement. Maybe try them all and see which one feels better. Breathing. Allowing your body to be soft and the gravity do its work. Instead of us physically stretching ourselves, we allow our body and gravity to do the work. Feeling the heart space open up. Feeling the throat chakra opening up. When the throat and the heart are connected, we learn to speak our truth, our boundaries, where we stand, our feelings. Allow yourself to visualize your intention and bring it into the place of your heart center. Visualize it as if it already exists in this world. couple more deep breaths here. Really breathing into the heart space. And then on your next inhale, you'll slowly start to come out. So bringing the hands back underneath the shoulders, rolling yourself onto either side to remove any of the props that you used. And then coming back onto the back, stretching the spine long, pull the knees back into the chest. Wrapping the arms around, rocking side to side. Feel the difference in your spine, in your back. And then just slowly stretching one leg out at a time to come into your final resting pose. Palms are open for receiving. Feet are flopped open. All 10 toes are relaxed. Arches of the feet and the heels. Ankles are completely relaxed. The shins and the knees. The upper thigh bones are relaxed. Pelvic floor. Right hip and left hip completely relaxed. Lower back is relaxed. Belly is soft. The chest open. The shoulders are relaxed. The upper arms, the elbows, forearms are completely relaxed. The wrists, both palms, all 10 fingertips, completely relaxed. Back of the head is grounded on the mat. The jawbone is slightly hinged. The brows relaxed. Feeling gravity slightly pull on the face down. The eyeballs sink back into the head. Completely relaxed. Start to deepen your breath. Taking a deep breath into the lower belly. And exhale out of the nose. Start to bring movement to the fingertips and toes. Maybe moving the wrist and rolling the ankle. When you're ready, slowly start to bring the knees into the chest, rolling onto either side to come back to the body. When you're ready, slowly start to make your way up to a cross-legged seated position at the back of the mat to seal the practice. Bringing hands to heart space and bowing the head. Coming back to your intention. I would like for you to thank yourself for taking this time to reset, to ease the mind and body while also connecting mind, body, and spirit. I would like for you to take this feeling of ease and peace with you outside of class into your day-to-day life. And always come back to this moment, this feeling. It's your choice and your decisions, not your circumstances, that define your destiny. And take this green light and extend it to anyone that may need a little extra love, light, or support. I honor you and thank you for practicing with me on this evening. Namaste. All right, Sharon.
That was good, Bree. I'm ready for bed.
What happened?
I said, now I'm ready for bed.
Yeah. And it's cool because you don't have to like get in your car and drive. You're like already home.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Oh, I gotta.
All right.